Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. There's 6 of us. I have 6 subscribers at the time making this video, so welcome back all 6 of you guys to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video we are going to be ranking all 31 Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps from worst to best. Obviously that does include the DLC, yes, but I'm going to say something, it's going to be surprising actually. A lot of the DLC maps in Black Ops 2 don't really hold the top spots. Like, as a matter of fact, of the top 10, I'm going to spoil it really quick. Of the top 10, I believe there's only 2, no, there's like about 3 or 4 actually, technically, DLC maps in the top 10. Like, there's actually a lot of the base game maps in Black Ops 2 are peak freaking maps. So it's actually a surprising one because usually some of the DLC maps are some of the better maps in these games, but in Black Ops 2 it's really not the case. I mean, they are still good maps, but we'll get into that. We're ranking all of them. We did it all with Black Ops 6 maps first, obviously, because that's the newest game, but now we're gonna do it with Black Ops 2, and then we'll probably do next with Ghosts. I was thinking Call of Duty Ghosts. Why? I don't know. I felt like doing Call of Duty Ghosts. Do you have a problem with that? Huh? But yeah, we're going to be ranking all the maps in these games. I feel like it's going to be a fun little series to do. So today it's Black Ops 2. Song of the day is called Caribbean by Shoreline Mafia. It is a rap song, so if you don't like rap music, obviously don't listen to it. But if you do like rap music, this song is a freaking banger. This song might as well be registered as a hammer because it'd be banging. All right? It's a great song. Go give it a listen. It's great music. But without further ado, let's rank all the Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps from worst to best. I actually had to go back and play some of these to remind myself like what the map was. So without further ado, let's get right into it with number 31, my least favorite map in the game. And that is Aftermath. I kind of forgot to mention in the intro, so I'll just mention it really quick right now. But I'm mainly ranking these maps obviously off personal opinion. That doesn't really have to be said, I feel like. But in case you were wondering, yeah, it's personal opinion. But mainly, like, just how I feel playing it. Like, I'm not a pro player, obviously, but I'm also not a super casual player. I just, like, if I'm feeling the map, if it feels fun, then that's how I'm ranking it. And the majority, I'm gonna spoil it right now, the majority is settings. Like, if the setting of the place is good, then it's probably gonna get relatively higher compared to some of the other ones. And Aftermath's setting is just so boring. It's just like a broken down city. It's the aftermath of a war zone, technically, and I guess that's why it's called Aftermath. But it's like, that kind of feels weird, because it's like, the war already happened. Like, why are we here now? This is after the war. Where were we beforehand? I feel like it makes no sense. Coming in at 30th is going to Vertigo. I feel like Vertigo is forgotten a lot. Like, nobody really talks about Vertigo, and I hate this map. I never liked Vertigo ever. It's such a boring map. It's on top of like a big tower, like a big tower research center thing, and that sounds kind of cool, but then you like are actually up there, and unless you're looking off the map at like the city around you, which, yeah, I will say that that's pretty cool, but unless you're doing that, actively going out of your way to look outside of the map, the rest of the map just feels super boring and just like a regular old building. Like, there's nothing that really separates Vertigo from the rest of the maps in this game. Coming in at the number 29 spot, however, is going to Takeoff. I don't even know what this place is supposed to be. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Like, is this supposed to be, what is this supposed to be, like a research center? I don't get it. It's set on like an oil rig. Is that what it's supposed to be? Oh wait, no, because there's that freaking rocket in it, isn't there? Yeah, so you know what, actually, I think that's what it is. I think it's a takeoff, like a rocket takeoff center. Kind of like Launch from Black Ops 1, but a significantly worse version of Launch. The reason why Takeoff is so bad, not only is because of the setting, because again, the setting is so confusing, like, where am I? You know, it feels so random. But not only that, it's also that there's like 17,000 different lanes on this map. There's no like 3-lane setup on Takeoff. There are so many different lanes you can go, and it feels like you can get cut off from any one of them. It feels like a red card before red card came out. It's bad. Coming in at 28th place is an unfortunate one because in terms of setting, it's actually a really cool setting, but the map just doesn't play well at all. It's Magma. Magma is it's like a burnt down Asian city. I was gonna say Chinese, but I didn't want to sound racist just in case this is like from Japan or something. I don't know where Magma is supposed to be set, and the worst part about that is that it says where it's supposed to be set upon loading into these games. So I should know that, but I don't. Either way, it's some Asian city that is like right next to a volcano, and the volcano just went off. That setting is so awesome. There's so much like lava. The city's burning down. It's a very vibrant city since it's Asian as well. Asians always love the big colors and stuff like that. It's a very cool looking area, but then playing it sucks because the magma kills you, and the magma is freaking everywhere. It is so annoying. 27th place might be a hot take for being this low, but it's Yemen. Yemen, I have never enjoyed Yemen. It is too large for Black Ops 2, which is ironic to say because if Yemen was put in like Black Ops 6 or Modern Warfare 3 or like a newer Call of Duty, people would probably be like, yeah, this is a good map because it's kind of small for those maps. But compared to the Black Ops 2 maps, this map is big and it doesn't feel right. On top of that, the entire left lane, in my opinion, is just like, it's just not possible to go down there because there's going to be people holding down extremely long angles and there's no way for you to run by that street. That street is an absolute just war zone. There's no reason to go down the left left lane. And then going down the middle lane is the middle lane, and middle lane is always chaotic and always hectic, so you can't really go down that way either. So you're pretty much stuck to going down the right lane in Yemen, but everybody else does that, so then that turns into a war zone. It's just it's bad. 26th place, however, is going to be going to an area that at first when I first heard of it, it sounded cool, but then it was not cool. Dig was like, again, a big dig site where they're like going to, I don't even know what they were trying to mine here, but they're trying to mine like dinosaur parts. I don't know. They were trying to mine something at Dig though. A big dig site, that sounds cool. It sounds fun, but then it just plays out like this very massively wide open area. Like there's no real cover on Dig, and Dig is just like, it kind of feels like an older version of Scud. You know, Scud in Black Ops 6, it kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like a big, wide open, desert-y area with no real hiding spots. On top of that, the map just looks bad. It looks like a freaking wet fart. Like, there's just like so much like rubble and crap all over the place. I feel like I just walked into a Transformers movie. 25th place, however, is going to be going to Frost. Frost, this is a part of the list where we're separating from like the really bad maps that I actually just don't like playing on to the maps where it's like, they're bad for sure. I'd rather not play on them, but I'm not going to be like frustrated because that's Frost. Frost isn't horrible, but I just feel like I'm gonna spoil something for you guys. Downhill, the other DLC snow map, is just so much better for snow maps. Like Frost is it's a darker one. It kind of feels like you're fighting on Christmas Eve almost. Like it feels like this nice little like cabin in the woods vibe where there's like, you know, Christmas Eve vibes going on and stuff like that. But then the map just doesn't play that well. It just feels like there's too many ways for the enemies to come and get you. It doesn't feel like a nice 3-lane structure. 24th place is another one of those maps where the vibes of it is so cool, but then the actual like gameplay of it just doesn't feel that way. Turbine from Black Ops 2 would be an absolute peak 10 out of 10 map in like Black Ops 6 right now. Like if this map was in like a newer COD, oh my god, we would love it. But in Black Ops 2, I do feel like it's one of the weaker maps. It just doesn't feel like fun in any way. Like the left side of the map is completely forgettable, by the way. As a matter of fact, the left and right side of the map, every lane except for the middle lane of the map is just such a forgettable part of the map. Like nobody ever really goes those ways, and if they do, you don't even really remember what's going on over there. Coming in at 23rd place is going to Border Patrol, the map. Drone is a big drone research facility style map that has the largest freaking middle lane in any Call of Duty game ever made. If you are a sniper and you don't just hardscope down the middle lane of drone, I don't know what you're doing, because you have literally like 5 million feet of space there. Chris Kyle would be the only person on drone that could actually accurately hit shots on this map because of how long the middle lane is in this map. But it did make for a fun game mode, which was the border crossing game mode, where you would have a couple of friends and they would try to run across the center while the people in the back of the map would try sniping them. That was pretty fun. 22nd place reminds me of like what I feel like when I see like a prestige master level 1000 already in Black Ops 6. This is what I pictured their room would look like. Pod is like an overgrown city. It kind of reminds you of that map from Ghosts with like the big grass, and it's this overgrown crappy like little city part. And that's what Pod is pretty much. It's just this overgrown city. It looks like it's been forgotten about or whatever, and that's a cool design actually. But then you actually look at it in Black Ops 2's graphics, and yeah, it's not that good. It just feels like yucky and a little like grotesque. Like you don't feel like walking through Pod. I feel like when I'm walking through Pod, I'm gonna like end the game and have like a stomach bug or something. Coming in at 21st place, barely missing out on the top 20 of Black Ops 2 maps, is Overflow. Oh lord. Overflow is like a 10 million times better version of Aftermath. It's kind of the same setting. It's a big city and it's got all this destruction going on. Like it's clearly after a war just broke out, and that's where you're set into. But it's so much smaller and it plays so much better than freaking Aftermath. Let me explain something though. The entire right side of Overflow I completely forgot about. Like by the way, I only say that I hate when I say that about maps. I'm like, the right side, but you guys aren't thinking about it from the same spawn that I'm thinking of. So I always feel like an idiot. The side of the map where it's like random buildings and stuff like that, not the alleyway side. That side of the map is very forgettable in my opinion. 20th place, however, is going to be going to Meltdown. Meltdown is another OG original map from the game, not a DLC map, and it's not bad. We're into the part of the list now where it's like these are these are, oh, you know what? We're going to start separating them into tiers. So the first tier was the awful tier, the second tier that we were just talking about were the bad tier, and now starting with Meltdown, this is going to be the average tier, okay? So from here on out, these are the average maps until I say otherwise. Meltdown is an average map. It's not bad. I don't feel angry playing it. I'm not like mad about it, but I don't feel any super special emotions. I actually really like the middle area of the map because if you go on the very tip top of Meltdown in the very middle, yes, it's a nightmare and you're going to get killed. But if you sit right behind it on the little hills, then you can stay alive and you can do okay. And it's actually a lot of fun. The underground passageways and stuff to get around people is fun too. I like Meltdown. It's an okay map. All right, so like I said, moving on to the next relatively average map, is again, it's crazy because Black Ops 2 had just such good freaking map design that even the average maps in this game are so much fun because 19th place is Downhill. Downhill is a significantly better snow map in my opinion. You start on, each side starts on a hill, you go down the hill. Look at that, look clever while you're doing it. Shut up, Treyarch. You think you're so smart? You're not smart. But you go down the hill, it's a smaller map, it's not that big. The entire left side of the map, oh my god, again, I did it again. The part of the map where you're on top of the hill and you're in the snow, not the right side where you're in the building, but the left side where you're in the snow, feels like that's like the main part of the map. Like no one goes in the middle of Downhill and no one really goes on the right side with the like freaking carrier things there on in the building. No one goes on that side. Coming in at 18th place, however, is going to Cargo. Cargo is literally just a giant like cargo container shipping port, I want to say. Maybe it's even on a boat, actually. That could be the case. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure it's just like a port, like a cargo port area. And it's a really fun area, especially with the changing, like, middle part of the area. That was such a well thought out design, Black Ops 2. Well done. Because in the middle area, it'll move cargo ships around, so like there's different lines of sights throughout the map, and it's really fun. The left side of the map with all the cargo containers on it, not the right side where the building is. The left side with all the cargo containers on it is a super fun area with different, like, levels of verticality to it too. Like people can be on top of the cargo containers or down below the cargo containers or wherever it may be. And it's a well thought out map. Good job on Cargo. The only downside to Cargo though is the vibes. It's not like a cool vibey map. Coming in at 17th place, however, though, is going to be going to Hydro. This is what they call all the girlies when I show up to the party. They call them Hydro. Yo! Either way, Hydro is a pretty fun map. The bottom part of the map being like a big, like, you're like fighting on a dam pretty much, and the bottom part of the map is like the dam's runoff, so you can like run in the water, but if the water's too high you can't run in the water, and it's actually a pretty cool freaking design. The top part of the map, I will say, is kind of forgettable. Like it doesn't really have that much setting it apart from other maps in the game, but the bottom part's pretty fun. Coming in at 16th place, however, is another, this one I feel like is a very divisive map. It's Mirage. Mirage is a great map if you are a fan of like longer range engagements. It kind of reminds me of like, you guys know Vault from Black Ops 6? Think of Vault, but on a much smaller scale, what Vault should have been, cough, cough. And that's what Mirage is. Like, it's really kind of the same layout, where like the left side, where all like the crap in the way, and it's like the entrance to the to that building, that left side of the map has a lot of closer range engagements, but the right side is very, very long range, and then the middle is a big building where all the close range engagements happen as well. It's very, very well thought out. The only downside to Mirage is I hate the color palette for this map. It is so boring. There's a bland, sandy color the entire time. 15th place is kind of the opposite though, because 15th place is going to Cove. Cove has a beautiful design. Cove is like a freaking, I feel like I'm on the island Lost from the TV show Lost. It's this beautiful like island beachfront map style where there's also just some random like crashed airplane in the middle of it. It literally reminds me of Lost, but it's such a fun freaking map, man, and it's gorgeous looking. The only downside to Cove is if you are not a long range style player, you will probably hate Cove. There's very, very little close range engagements in Cove. It's a very sniper friendly, AR friendly, LMG friendly map, but SMGs, shotguns, they're probably going to suffer on Cove. It's very wide open. 14th place is one of the only, and this is the last one for the average tier, by the way, before we get into the good tier. Like I said, I just put these in here, but I think it's actually a really smart idea. But yeah, 14th place is one of the only maps in Black Ops 2 where it's still a good map, but it's a big downgrade from the original. Uplink. Uplink is obviously a remake of Summit, and Summit was awesome because it was a cool, freaking bright, lit up, snowy map from Black Ops 1. Uplink turned Summit into, instead of being a cool, snowy mountaintop like facility, it's like a rainy, depressing, dark mountaintop facility, and it's just not as cool in any way as Summit. It's still a fun map because it plays like Summit, and Summit plays well, but in terms of the design choices, they just should have stuck with it. Just call it Summit. A rat. But like I said, now you're into the good tier. So maps in these tiers, these are maps that I I enjoy. Hey, if I load them up, I'm happy. And 13th place is Carrier. Carrier is obviously the Sniper's Paradise, but it's good to have at least one Sniper's Paradise map, and they clearly were like, yeah, this is gonna be that map. Carrier is also like, yes, it is a Sniper's Paradise, but it's not like you will get demolished by snipers. Like, you can still, if you're a good enough player, make your way around with an assault rifle SMG and do some damage on Carrier. On top of that, the design isn't bad. It is a little boring, like it's not like colorful or anything. It is just kind of like, you know, another couple military stuff on top of a cargo carrier or a military carrier, but the rest of it is just kind of, it just plays really, really fun. 12th place, however, is going to one where the vibes are immaculate. It's Encore, and this is the only like time where I feel like a freaking video game was like, hey, yeah, we're gonna make a map that's like, you know, supposed to be set at like a concert and have it feel like an actual concert, because that's what Encore is. It's supposed to be set at a concert, and it feels fun. You can fight on the stage, you can fight in the stands, you can fight back behind the stage, and like, you know, backstage and all that stuff. And there's all the freaking like band equipment and stuff all around the map. The design choice of Encore is awesome. In terms of the actual play style of the map, it's okay. It's not great or anything. I'm not gonna go writing to my mom about Encore. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna write to my mom about any Call of Duty's map. But either way, yeah, I'm not gonna write to my mom about it. But it's not bad either, and since the design is so incredible, it makes it in the good tier. 11th place is yet again in the good tier. This kind of got a lot of these. Barely missing out in the top 10 though. It is another pretty sniper friendly map, Detour. Detour is like on top of like a bridge for some reason. Like, you're at like the base of the bridge, like right before the bridge starts, like that's where you're fighting. But it's fun. Underneath the bridge is kind of like useless in my opinion. Pretty much everybody just goes on top of the bridge and fights up there. And if you fight up there, it's a lot of fun. This is like, you guys know the stupid, oh my god, Santa Sena border crossing, that crap, diarrhea, poopy butt cheeks map that they decided to come out with. This is like what they were trying to do. Like, this is a significantly better version of that map in every single way. But breaking its way into the top 10, and might be a little bit of a hot take to not put it in like the amazing tier, because a lot of people love this map. It's Slums. Listen, Slums is great. I'm putting it in my top 10. Like, this is an incredible map. It is so well done. But I do think there are other maps in this game that I'd rather play than Slums. It is the tried and true 3-lane method to the fullest extent. This map has 3 lanes, but in the middle it all connects into one big lane, and then they all go their separate ways again into each person's spawn. It is really well done. I love Slums. It's a lot of fun, but I do think there are some other things to be desired in maps. It's also, in my opinion, slightly a little bit too large. But coming in at 9th place, in the final one for the good tier, before we go on into the amazing tier, is the Express. Express is, oh my god, so much fun. The freaking train that goes through the map is one of the only like active map changes in Call of Duty history that, in my opinion, actually is like matters, because that train will catch even the best of players off guard sometimes. Like, it, for some reason, that train is the sneakiest train ever. I feel like I'm playing against that train is Caveira from Rainbow Six Siege. Like, it has silent step turned on. You can never hear it, and so it will actually catch some people off guard. On top of that, there are so many times where I'm like in a gunfight with somebody and the train passes by and you're done with the gunfight pretty much. Nobody died, but you have to wait because that train's gonna go by and you can't get past it. It is such a well thought out design, and then the map itself plays really well as well. Obviously, the 3-lane method is good and the design is good and all that, but the train is what separates it from the rest. All right, but now we're into the amazing tier. So maps in these tier are I mean, these are just like incredible. 8th place is Plaza. Plaza's design, Plaza's vibes is, oh my god, next to none. It is incredible. It's obviously based in a plaza style area. You got a bunch of shops and stuff like that. You can walk up and down the street and you'll go into different shops and fight in different shops. There's music going on in almost every single one of these shops as well. It feels alive even though it's a war going on at it, and the design is incredible. It's also a night style map, but not a night style map like a new Call of Duty night style map where you can't see anybody, but a night style map where you can still see people, but it feels like you're actually fighting at the nighttime. It's absolutely incredible. Plaza is amazing. Oh my god, it's so good. Coming in at 7th place though is another fan favorite, and I can't deny it. I can't deny it. You guys know what you're talking about. It's Raid. Raid is great. They've brought back Raid a couple times now, and they've never really captured the feeling of the very first Raid, but goodness gracious, Raid is amazing. First of all, the middle lane being just an absolute war zone 24/7 on this map is incredible. This is also one of those maps where every lane feels unique and feels like there's always going to be combat going on at each one of these lanes, and it's really well. A lot of these maps, there's a lane on the map where nobody really uses it. Nobody really goes that way because it's just nothing really ever happens that way. It takes a long time to get to the middle of the map that way. It's just pointless. But Raid, every part of the map, there's always going to be something going on. It is really, really well done. There's cover where cover is perfect, but at the same time, there are little snipers' nests. So if snipers want to have a field day, they can, as long as they're good enough. It is really well done. Sixth place is realistically only all the way up here because of the vibes and the design of it. It's grind. Fighting at a skate park is, it sounds like wouldn't play that well. Like, you'd be like, well, what the heck are you gonna do? Like, run through half pipes? But it plays well, man. Grind plays so well. It is so freaking fun. All the different half pipes and different freaking little skateboarding props that you can go up on top of and get vantage points on and stuff like that. The design of it's really, really well. There's cover everywhere. The only thing I will say about grind is it's definitely not going to be a good map if you're a sniper. If you're a sniper, there's really not that many like vantage points for you. You probably won't enjoy it too well, but I think it's an absolutely amazing map. But coming in at 5th place, and this might be a hot take because I feel like everybody else is going to say this is the best map in the game, but I do not think it's the best map in the game. As a matter of fact, I think it's the last map for the amazing tier before we get into the best tier. It's Nuketown 2025. Is Nuketown a good map? Obviously. I mean, you don't gotta tell me twice, but you don't gotta come into my room and wake me up in the middle of the night and say, hey, Mark, just want to let you know Nuketown's a good map. You don't gotta do that. As a matter of fact, please don't do that. That'd be really weird. But it is an incredible map. It's just, I don't think it stands, the test of time compared to the other ones. Nuketown is incredible. It's great. It's fun. It's awesome, and it always will be. And every time they bring it back in every single Call of Duty Black Ops game, because they just love doing that for some reason, I will be happy. But I don't think it's better than the rest of the maps. But now we are into the best tier, and these maps are not only the best in this game, but some of the best maps in Call of Duty history, period. And 4th place is Standoff. Standoff is such an odd one because it's hard to describe why Standoff is so perfect, but it is. Standoff just works so well. It's not that small, so you might be like, well, usually people like the smaller maps in Call of Duty. Spoiler alert, but usually that's how it goes. Standoff isn't that small, so why do people love this map so much? I don't know. I don't know what it is myself. I can't put a finger on why I love Standoff so much, but I do. Standoff is just incredible in every single sense of the word. It is amazing. It is so much fun. I will never stop loving Standoff, and the fact that they haven't brought Standoff back yet is a crime. Coming in at 3rd place, however, is another map that I feel like everybody just kind of forgets about because it was a DLC map and nobody really talks about the DLC maps. It's Rush. Rush is the paintball map, and oh my god, is it awesome. Fighting in a paintball field obviously sounds like a very obvious idea, yet they never did it before, and then when they did it with Rush, everybody was like, okay, wow, that worked way better than I thought it would. Like, it was incredible. You have the entire map is pretty much just a giant paintball field. There's an indoor paintball spot, and that spot is awesome because it makes sense. I mean, it's literally a paintball field. Like, paintball is supposed to represent like a battlefield, and so it makes sense why you would have fun fighting in a paintball field. Every lane on this map feels unique and feels fun. The upstairs part of the wooden area feels unique and fun. The downstairs part of the middle area feels super close quarters, which is different for a middle area. Middle areas are usually wide open areas that it's like a no man's land, and then the left area is the no man's land, the wide open area where it's indoors and it has like the green grass ground thing. That's the no man's land area. But coming in at 2nd, and it was honestly a toss-up between 2nd, 3rd, and 1st for me for which one to put first. But 2nd place is Studio. Studio is a remake of Firing Range, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I actually think Studio is a better map than Firing Range. I know it's crazy to say a remake is better than the original, but I actually do think the design choices of Studio is so cool. Whereas Firing Range is quite literally just a firing range, Studio is this super awesome, like, movie set type thing. It has all these different like movie style things. There's like alien UFOs and stuff like that all around the map, and it's really well done design. But then obviously it plays like Firing Range, and Firing Range plays incredibly. I cannot explain to people how much I love the giant tower in the middle of Firing Range because it's such a perfect like idea where it's like you have to risk it all to get up there, but if you get up there you have a super serious vantage point. But 1st place, in my opinion, the best map, with all no doubt in my mind, in Black Ops 2 is Hijacked. Hijacked is an original map from the original game. It wasn't a remake or anything like that. It was an OG map, not a DLC map, just a Black Ops 2 base game map, and was unfreaking parallel to anything else. Hijacked is awesome. It is so much fun. It's hectic, but it's really hard for the enemies to like spawn trap you, so it's not frustratingly hectic. It's got so many different play styles. You can be a sniper, you can be a shotgun player, you can be an SMG player, you can be an AR player. It has the 3 lanes, but all the 3 lanes aren't super wide and forgettable. All 3 lanes are very, very distinct little tiny areas of the map. It is awesome. Hijacked will, and then on top of that, the vibes. I mean, we're fighting on a yacht, ladies and gentlemen. That is incredible. Hijacked is, without a doubt in my mind, the best map in Black Ops 2, and one of, if not the best map in Call of Duty history. I love this map. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video, ranking all 31, I almost said 25 for some reason, 31 Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like these. Let me know what other videos you see in the comment section down below. And I think I'm going to make a separate playlist for ranking all the maps of each game, because I'm going to do this with all the maps. Obviously, last video was on Black Ops 6, today was on Black Ops 2. Like I said, most likely next will be Call of Duty Ghosts, unless somebody comments down below and wants to see a certain game. But as of right now, I don't have any viewers. Please subscribe. My mom doesn't need anything. My mom is in perfectly good health, but please subscribe to support my mom. No, but seriously though, I probably am going to do Call of Duty Ghosts next, and I'll put them all into like a playlist and start making this its own little series or whatever, because I'm having a lot of fun ranking these maps. And dude, I went back and played a lot of the Black Ops 2 maps that I like forgot about, or like forgot how they played or whatever, just with like bots, and that was so much fun. So I'm gonna go do that with Call of Duty Ghosts probably right after filming this video actually. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And das vidanya. Have a nice night.